I imagine you could see me now on the YouTube. Not sure what was going on. There, got kicked up a little high. Anyways, let me reorganize everything again. Okay. And again, we're talking about the word, what word? We're talking about names for family members. This time we got brother, brother. And again, brother is not going to have an ah sound. Brother is actually going to have a schwa type sound. So it's not bra, it's more bruh, bruh. Okay? So again, make sure when you're saying brother, it's not brother, it's brother. And you also want to make sure that you're holding that THER type sound. Okay? Brother, brother. Also make sure you're holding that TH sound. Thank you, Star Wars fan and Sunshine, for letting me know. That's great. I appreciate it. Moving on to our next word. So again, brother. The same thing like we talked about earlier for mother. That same sound, mother. And we're going to continue with these schwa type sounds with our next word too. Cousin. Cousin. So it's not cousin. It's not cousin. It's cousin. Cousin. Schwa sound, short I sound. Okay, so like cousin. 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 Another thing too that I want to make a new video on this because this is something I see a lot with students. Linking vowel sounds to the letter N. Hello, Fippoletti. Thanks for joining us. Linking vowel sounds to the letter N. The letter N is kind of tricky because to make a letter like the N sound, you often pronounce a vowel. Like, for instance, when you say N, N, you're not just making a consonant sound, right? You're saying eh. You attach this vowel sound to it. But you want to remember that when you're actually saying words, you don't need that vowel sound. Okay, so like for instance, in, it's not in, it's not un, it's in. It's gonna go right from that vowel on that short I. It's gonna go right from there to and link with the N. So it's just in. So make sure when you're saying a word like, for instance, cousin. Okay, but we see this with other vowels too. For instance, like a word like bean. Make sure you're not adding an sound before your N. So it's not bean, it's not cousin, it's bean, cousin. So just watch out for that, and we'll get some practice for that in the future. So again, cousin is our next word here. Next word. Appreciate the comment on the tip. That's great. Our next word here, uncle. Uncle. Another case of a schwa sound. You should be noticing a theme. For many family members, you're using schwa sounds or short I sounds. It's like uncle, uncle. It's not uncle, it's more uncle. It's not it's more uncle, uncle. May I make some note that, yeah, I mean, if you use a long I sound for instance, like on cousin, some people do say like cousin, like sometimes like to exaggerate like a fake like southern type accent or things like that, or among other things. But again, remember it's a short I sound for cousin. Okay. Uncle, uncle. Quick note on uncle too. Uncle is ending on a dark L type sound. Okay. So what you want to do with dark L's, remember the back of your tongue is high, front of your tongue is down. It's like call, uncle, uncle. If you find that when you say the word uncle, that the front of your tongue rises, that's okay. You know, you can say uncle, uncle. But I think what you're more likely to hear in North America is people pronouncing it with a dark L, back of tongue high, front of your tongue actually down. You can actually hold the tip of your tongue down for that entire word. Uncle, uncle. Okay. We have a question here about the word pour. How do you say pour? So, as in, does pour have a vowel sound attached before it? Pour, You know, the R sound is an interesting sound because, you know, that back of your tongue is high, and oftentimes the front of your tongue is high too. So for instance, okay. But it also has a lot of air coming through your mouth. It has a lot of movement, you know, that needs to, not of air that needs to move through your throat. Okay. So in that sense, it also has kind of like some vowel components too. Okay. So like when you're saying pour, I would personally treat it almost as like a separate syllable with kind of a vowel sound attached. Okay, and that brings up a big issue. You know, some people have debates, you know, about words like fire or pour, like words like this. Like, are they one syllable or are they two syllables? And this is part of the reason why, because the R sound is just a tricky, it's just a tricky sound. Our next word here, ant. Ant. So again, A-U-N-T. And for those of you on the Lang 8 stream, you can follow along with my words and visuals at youtube.com/fluentamerican. Okay. Ant. Ant. Notice that typically in North America, you're going to pronounce this with an A type sound, again, like in cat, ant, ant. A quick note, too, about this A sound is that for as, you want to make sure that when an A sound links with the letter M or N or NG, when a vowel sound links with an A sound links with those, it often breaks into two parts. Instead of saying A, it often gets a little bit tenser and moves a little farther back. So instead of A, like in cat, it becomes more eh. You feel your tongue sliding back more. Okay? And then before you get to that N or M or NG, you're going to do like a heavy breath out of your nose. It's like It's like and. And then we'll add our T sound. Ant. So it's not aunt. It's not ant. It's ant. Ant. And. For instance, like a word like can or sand. Ant. Quick note about that. A couple other questions I noticed on the Lang 8 stream. How to pronounce shoutout. Shoutout. So it kind of depends. If you're using shoutout as a noun, which I assume you are because you attached it. It was one word. Shoutout. You want to stress the first part. So it's not shout out. It's going to be shout out. Stress the shout part. It's a compound noun now. Or it's a phrasal noun, excuse me. And you want to get that ow sound really clear. Ow. Ow. Notice how wide my mouth starts. Ow. Ow. Shall. Shall. Then that T in shout is going to become a fast D sound because it's surrounded by vowel sounds. You have that ow sound before the T. You have that ow sound after the T. So it's going to take on a fast D type sound. So it's like shall, doubt, like doubt, doubt, shout out, shout out. Heavy stress on the first syllable, more reduced on the second syllable. Okay. Other questions here. Times to do lives. So typically live streams are at about this time on Saturdays. Okay. We also do some streams as well during the week. Those are more connected with our Facebook channels and Facebook pages. Okay, but yeah, we also do lives. Those are typically in the evenings, my time, around like 9:30, 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, but yeah, Saturdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, those are the times when I typically do my streams. All right, thank you, Ivan. Appreciate it. If you guys have other questions, of course, be sure to let me know. Moving on to other family members. Next one. Grandpa, grandpa, or grandfather, grandfather. Let's talk about grandpa first. Stress grand. Okay. This again has that A sound plus N combination that we've already talked about a lot. Okay. So like grand, and, grand, that and type sound. And then pa, again, you finishing with that ah sound, like again, like in stop or father. Okay, grandpa. Yeah, Hisham, I hope to see you in the future streams for sure. Grandpa. Second word, grandfather. So now, notice again, stress stays on grand, and then father's going to sound the same. Okay, grandfather. So it's not grandfather, it's my grandfather. Stress grand. Again, you get that and sound. Hello, Unpredictable Crow. Thanks for joining our Lang 8 stream. Okay. So again, grandpa, grandfather. Our next one here, grandma. Same idea that we saw grandpa. So again, A sound plus an N, and then finishing with an A sound. Grandma, stress grand. And then grandmother. Like we talked about for mother. Mother has a schwa sound. So it's not mother, it's mother. Schwa sound on that. Grandmother. So again, grandma, grandmother. Next one, let's talk about some other types of relatives. So for instance, if you have a brother or sister and they have kids, then you have some nieces and nephews. Our first one here, niece. Again, with the long I type sound. Niece. And a key thing, again, with a word like niece and this long I sound, just like we talk about for all vowel sounds, placement. What I see with a lot of students is they want to pronounce it like niece, but it's not niece, it's niece. lower in the throat, more relaxed, more air coming through. Niece, niece. The male version of that will be nephew, nephew. So again, ne, that S sound like in best or get, nephew, nephew. Okay, so again, niece and nephew, niece, nephew, niece, nephew. Next, for my people who are married, and you're talking about your spouse's parents, so your spouse's moms or your spouse's dads, those are going to be your in-laws. In-laws. For in-laws, you want to make sure you stress in. In-laws. This is again another case where you have a short I sound linking with an N. It's like in. It's not een, it's more in. In-laws. For that laws sound, what you're doing is you open your mouth wide, back of tongue high, front of your tongue down. Laws. Laws. It's like in-laws. In-laws. Stress in. So it's not in-laws, it's your in-laws. And you can use the word in-laws too as like a pronoun. You know, you don't have to say, oh, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. You could just say my in-laws to refer to both people. Next, so for instance, your parents get divorced and then remarried, okay, the person that they marry is your step-parent. Step-parent. Okay, in this case, again, you want to stress step. This is a vowel sound we haven't talked about yet today. So for this S sound like in step, step, you want to make sure your tongue's taking up a lot of space in your mouth. Step, step, step. Okay, step-parent. And step-parent, step is going to receive your stress. Parent, a little bit less emphasized. Step-parent. Okay. All right. Lots of different family members there, so let's just kind of recap and review all of them really quick. And of course, if you have some other pronunciation questions about family or other things, you can be sure to let me know as well. Okay. Starting off at the top. So again, mother, schwa sound, or mom, ah sound. Father, ah sound, versus dad, the ah sound, like in cat. Sibling, short I sound, sibling, sibling. Our next word, again, short I sound, sister, sister. So again, not cease, more sis, sister. Brother, again with the schwa sound. So it's not brother, it's more brother, brother. Watch out for that schwa. Cousin, cousin. Again, more schwa sound. So it's not cousin, it's more cousin. Uncle, uncle. Again, with a schwa type sound. So it's not ang, it's more uncle, kol. Dark L sound at the end, so it's not kul, it's kol. Aunt, again with the a sound. Aunt, aunt. Again, watch out for that a sound link with the N. It's like aunt. Grandpa, grandfather. Again, both of these ending with like an ah type sound. Okay, watch out for linking with that and sound as well. So like grand, and, grand. Same thing with the next words as well. Grandma, or grandmother. Notice that the vowel sound changes. Okay, so like grandma, again, and followed by a ah sound, ma, versus grandmother, schwa sound on mother. Niece, long I sound, but again, it's not niece, it's niece. Lower in the throat, more relaxed. Nephew, again, S sound, nef. Tongue should be taking up a lot of space in your mouth. Placement should be low. Nef. You don't need your mouth to be super wide for that. Nef. In-laws. So again, instead of en, it's more n, and then laws, ah sound. And then lastly, step-parent. Stressing, step. You can also have like a step-sister or step-brother and things like that as well. All right, I'll stay on for another minute or so just in case some people have some other questions related to pronunciation that I can help with. But again, these were ways to pronounce different types of family members in American English pronunciation. Be sure to take a look at our channel with some things that are coming up. Our next video is going to be talking about locating stress inside of sentences. So if that is something that you struggle with, it's going to be a key concept for American English to sound natural. Identifying stress words in sentences really is key. In addition to that, it's going to be using inspirational quotes, motivational quotes, not from me, but from different celebrities in movies and things like that. So if you're the kind of person that likes seeing motivational quotes and inspirational messages and things like that, I hope you like the ones that we pick. But again, you can also use it as an exercise for shadowing or for just identifying stress in sentences as well. Okay, and that will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully at some point. Other things too, of course, if you're interested in trying to schedule an actual pronunciation lesson, you're trying to find out more of the specific things that will help you sound more natural and comfortable in American English pronunciation, you can schedule a class at fluentamerican.com, and we'll be happy to help you out there. Besides that, again, my name is Jeff. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of your weekend with me. I always appreciate it. I hope you have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.